Parks is preparing for an extraordinary challenge. Once a Welsh rugby international, he became an extreme athlete and adventurer. And now Richard's aiming to become the fastest man to ski from the coast of Antarctica to the South Pole. A trek of over 1,000 kilometers in temperatures down to -30. To train for this epic adventure, Richard is entering 3 of the most brutal races known to man.
I can say that's the first for me. Climbing a 5,500 meters with a bloody bike strapped to my back.
Go!
This week, Richard is taking on his second challenge, the Jungle Ultra in Peru. 5 marathons in 5 days, all in intense heat, across brutal terrain, and 100% humidity.
I just can't seem to get in the area.
His body will be pushed to the limit.
I had a bit of chafing during the race, which has created a bit of a scab, and my shorts dried into my nuts last night.
And the jungle will get into his head.
Really in the middle of absolutely nowhere. It's bloody scary.
If he can't survive this, his Antarctic dream could be over.
Oh!
Richard Parks has arrived in South America. He's come to Machu Picchu, the so-called lost city of the Inca Empire. An awe-inspiring setting, over 2,400 meters above sea level. It's the perfect spot for Richard to get some last-minute training.
I'm really excited to be here in Peru for the Jungle Ultra. And the great thing about coming here to Machu Picchu is there's so many bloody steps here, and the Incas love their steps, fair play, and it's turned out to be a bit of a workout. Really like the idea of performing and surviving in hostile environments on my own, and there's no environment more hostile to me than the jungle.
Welcome to the Jungle Ultra, everyone.
Richard is joining 25 ultra-distance runners, ranging from seasoned pros to amateur enthusiasts. They're getting the Amazon lowdown from race director Wes Crutcher.
Excellent. Jungle safety. First of all, everything can hurt you. Everything. Last year, in cloud forests, as people were descending down, there were a lot of wasps and poison bees. Snakes. This one's the coral snake. It's probably one of the most poisonous snakes you're going to find in this area. Ants are going to be absolutely everywhere. I can't remember the name of the tree. Is it Palo Santo. If you go next to that tree, you will get bitten by these.
The delights of the jungle are Richard's idea of hell. His only experience in one came when he climbed Indonesia's highest mountain on his last record-setting expedition.
This is brutal.
He vowed never to go back.
Of all the extreme environments I performed in, the jungle has given me the most nightmares, and it's my least favourite. And in fact, I'm pretty sure I was on record about 2 years ago saying I'd never go back to the jungle, and I'm here.
There's one other thing troubling Richard: his running experience, or lack of it.
You know, this is my first ultramarathon. In fact, it's my first marathon. In fact, it could even be my first time running without Ben the dog.
The furthest he's run competitively in one go is 19 kilometers. less than a tenth of the distance of the Jungle Ultra.
Personal best marathon time, not applicable. Ultramarathon experience, not applicable. Previous jungle marathon experience, not applicable. And have I dropped out of a race before? Not applicable. It's not looking good.
Although Richard is way out of his comfort zone, this is ideal training for his Antarctic challenge in 5 months' time. He'll need to have exceptional stamina as he skis alone to the South Pole, attempting to break the 24-day world speed record. And what will make it even harder, he'll be hauling all of his equipment, 68 kilos, the weight of an average woman. In the Jungle Ultra, the runners have to carry all their food, medical supplies, and bedding.
Have you got lightweight sleeping bag?
Sleeping bag.
Hammock with an inbuilt mosquito net.
The rucksacks can weigh up to 15 kilos. The race starts at 2,700 meters above sea level in the cloud forest, immediately dropping 1,700 meters into the full-on jungle. The route then winds for nearly 200 kilometers deep in the Amazon basin, climbing up and down killer hills with over 90 dangerous river crossings on the way to the finish line.
It's gonna be real tough. I hate the jungle. Part of me is bricking it about the idea of running 230k in 5 days. If I can't get through this, there's no point getting on the flight to Antarctica.
Stage 1 is relentless. 38 kilometers long and downhill much of the way, with dozens of drops some hundreds of feet down steep cliff faces.
Okay, everyone, as we spoke about yesterday, don't run near the edges. Last year, someone did and fell off, okay? So, right, guys?
Thank you. Thank you.
And so, the Jungle Ultra begins. Within minutes, Richard is finding out why this is called the Ultra. This ledge is less than a meter wide, with a sheer 180-meter drop to the valley floor.
I'm glad this is only a few K into the race. I wouldn't fancy this narrow ledge when I'm shattered.
Richard's less than 5 kilometers in, and it's only going to get tougher. It's day 1 of Peru's Jungle Ultra. Richard Parks is only a quarter of the way through this hardcore 38-kilometer stage.
Not a big fan of these steep downhills.
He's in training for his Antarctic challenge, the fastest unsupported ski trek to the South Pole. But he's only ever competitively run 19 kilometers in one go before. And this stage is twice that distance. And it's a long, hard downhill leg. Plus, he has to carry all his own supplies.
Although you'd think that's a blessing running downhill with this pack on and, you know, in even terrain, it's actually real tough on your knees, your ankles and your quads. It's only day 1 and it's just bloody painful.
After After 2.5 hours in this grueling terrain, Richard is nearing his personal milestone of 19 kilometers.
In not long, I'm going to run further than I've ever run before, which was awesome, a real boost.
A kilometer later, and Richard's done it. But he's still only halfway into the 38k stage, so he's got to grit his teeth and cover the same distance again.
My legs are tightening up, even when it kicks up just a little bit like this. You bloody feel it.
As Richard slows down, the elite runners are already finishing the stage. The winner took 3 hours, 9 minutes.
That was a nice 16-mile downhill.
It's nice, isn't it? Yeah, well done.
Richard's managed to keep on going, but as he gets near the finish, he's really struggling.
Wow, the last 15k today seems to be going really slowly. It's like purgatory. This dirt track never seems to end. And now, it's just about that mental game. Relentless forward movement.
After 5.5 grueling hours, Richard finishes his first ultra stage.
Well done, boys. Well done, guys.
That's all of the reception.
Take your bag off.
He discovers he's done really well, coming 14th out of the 26 runners.
Good man, how do you go? Well, that's the longest I've ever run in my life, ever. Ever. My lungs are fine, my lungs are literally like, but my legs, oh my God. I could have changed, I could have got a new set of legs about 20k, I think.
Richard's headed off to the river to cool his aching limbs down.
It's like an actual ice bath. It's not quite the natural jacuzzi that it was built up to be, but yeah, every little bit helps.
He's had a good day, but the big run has battered some of the other runners. A couple have gone down with heat exhaustion and vomiting.
Did you drink a couple of litres between each checkpoint?
Probably 1.5 litres at most. Because my stomach was quite upset, I just couldn't take any more water.
These are some of the fittest guys you will ever see. And the fact that, you know, someone at that level of fitness is suffering at such an early stage, it's a really hard race. And this is, you know, it's supposed to be the kind of breaking into the whole process, the easier sort of stage. And, you know, it's only going to get harder from here on in.
I feel a little more confident having gotten day one under my belt, but I'm pretty stiff this morning.
Yesterday, Richard did well, but he's got to do it all again today, and in far worse conditions. The runners will enter tropical jungle for the first time. Up to 40-degree heat and 100% humidity will grind them down. It could even lead to heat stroke, which causes vomiting, diarrhea, and muscle cramps.
You must take on your 2.5 litres of water. If you do not take that 2.5 litres, you will be penalised, okay? Everyone. It's going to get hotter and more humid down there. We do not want you falling down and coming out of the race because you haven't had enough fluid, okay?
Good luck. Cheers, mate. You too.
It's going to get hot.
I know.
It's going to get really hot.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, ouch! Have a good day, guys! Look after yourselves!
For Richard to confront his darkest fears. Everything he hates about the jungle is lying in wait.
As I run deeper into the jungle, it becomes more and more snake territory. And all those things that Wes were pointing out to us that were trying to eat us and chase us up here. Oh, look at them. The killer ants. Everything is alive out here. I don't want to stop. I think a moving target is better than a stationary target. I keep thinking somebody's behind me. Really a nerve-in place.
And as the temperatures soar into the 40s, it's like running in a sauna. Richard knows if he doesn't keep piling the water in, he could get seriously ill.
Oh, so I just can't seem to get any air in. As I get further into day 2, my legs get more and more tired and it's harder and harder to pick them up over everything. It's really sticky and hot, and because it's so wet and humid in here, all the rocks and sticks are really slippy. This is tough going on my ankles and knees.
Richard has now twisted his knee.
Ow. 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 The crazy thing is, I bloody asked for this.
He still has 10k to go, while the front runners are once again crossing the finish line.
Wow, what a stage. That was a tough one. It was brilliant. Oh, quite tearful.
Richard is still in the thick of it with a damaged knee. But 2 hours later, he finally reaches the finish line. 3 days ago, he'd only ever run 19 kilometers in one go. And now, he's done 72 in 2 days. Plus, he's come in 2 places better than yesterday, 12th out of 26.
You all right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Tough that one.
Wicked. Really good job.
However, he was going for 5 painful hours. He's also got another problem, and this one's a bit more urgent.
In the last 10k, I had really, really bad stomach cramps all the way, and just had to literally, I would have made it under 5 if I hadn't just had to go to the toilet about half a kilometre away. Tough end of the day.
Richard's been given antibiotics for his bad gut. With 3 days to go and 154 kilometers of jungle running, he can't afford to be ill.
Stage 2 itself was bloody tough. Now the second half through the jungle was absolutely brutal. But to make matters worse, pretty much since crossing the finish line, I've had diarrhea, and everything I've had to eat and drink this afternoon and this evening has just gone straight through me. And I'm left now just feeling absolutely empty, just shattered. It doesn't put me in a good stead for tomorrow. It's real frustrating.
Overnight, Richard's stomach problem has improved. This 30-kilometre stage is shorter, but it's brutal. It's called logging, after the trucks that chew up the trails into thick mud, making running next to impossible. Richard will also have to cross 40 rivers. Okay when you have boats and zip wires to get you over.
Oh, wow. Oh, nice for someone else to do the work for once. Gracias.
But not so good when the only way to cross is to wade through dangerous rapids. One slip on the rocks and the runner could be swept away. And running in and out of water brings more problems. Blisters from wet feet and chafing from wet shorts.
My groin, put it politely, killing me. Started to get a bit of chaff in. It's pretty sore now.
The mud is so uneven, ankles and knees are ruined. 3 veteran runners are forced to drop out of the ultra today through injury.
It looks like the tendon's coming away from the bone. The ligament and muscle across here is pulling away. That's a runner's life. It's a long-distance runner's life.
Richard has shown real grit and drawn on his endurance experience to finish in 10th place. Plus, he's avoided further injury.
What makes something like this really tough and really perfect training for Project X for me is it's not just about, you know, starting and finishing something. It's about getting up the next day feeling like crap and doing it again and then doing it again. Anyway, another day in the bag, isn't it? 3 down, 2 to go.
Richard Parkes may be flying high, but this is the Jungle Ultra. Things are about to get serious when he goes missing in the jungle.
We're quite worried about Richard out there, and he was complaining about his knee.
Day 4 of Peru's Jungle Ultra. Richard Parkes is almost halfway through one of the toughest running races on Earth. With 23 runners left, Richard's in 10th place. Not bad for a man who'd never run a marathon.
Come on, mate.
But today's stage could change all that. Just an hour from the start, Richard has a new injury to contend with.
Yesterday, I had a bit of chafing during the race, which, you know, all the river crossings and the heat, and my cycling shorts and shorts got really wet and they were rubbing together, and it didn't seem that bad yesterday, but overnight it's created a bit of a scab, and my shorts dried into my nuts last night, and pulled it off this morning. It looks like I might have got a bit of infection in there. It's mega, mega painful. If you heard any yelping in the toilet, that was me putting antiseptic on there and talc and stuff. But I'd be pretty devastated if that's what takes me out of this race.
In the jungle, serious infection can take hold very quickly. But Richard's decided he's going to take the risk. So far, he's run from the cloud forest deep into the Amazon jungle. 102 kilometers, but he's got 2 more days to go. The lull and the long one, a total of 124 kilometers. But today's stage is the hardest one yet, snaking its way through Manu National Park. At 15,000 square kilometers, Manu is nearly as big as Richard's homeland of Wales. This full-on jungle is a killer. where the risk of dehydration and heat stroke is at its greatest yet.
It is going to be tough. Can you please look out for each other today? If someone's struggling, let the next CP know. OK, guys, I'll see you at the end.
Just running into Manu National Park. Hell of a way to start the day. Oh my God, that's so good on my gooch. Oh, it's amazing. I'm just gonna stand by here for a minute, guys.
But within minutes, Richard's knee injury comes back to haunt him.
I twisted my left knee a couple of days ago. I don't know why, but it's really flared up this morning. Mega sore.
Over the next few hours, everybody struggles in the ferocious heat and treacherous terrain.
My crotch seems to have just numbed, which is a good thing. It's bloody painful.
Richard's knee is getting worse, and the gap is widening between him and the front runners. Before long, he's totally alone in the Amazon. 22 kilometers inside the jungle, the runners in front of Richard have reached checkpoint 2.
Now we really need to drink. We are quite worried about Richard out there. We met him, he was complaining about his knee, or his knees, and we didn't think it would be that long to this checkpoint, otherwise we would have stayed with him.
Okay, and is he otherwise okay? Is he managing to walk, or?
He's moving very, very slowly. The worst problem for him will be to dehydrate. He needs some water out there.
Right, okay.
Yeah. You need to get back and get him, or help him at least.
Richard is reeling from the heat of the jungle and is dangerously low on clean water.
3 hours into stage 4. And he's giving me a lot of shit today. He's giving me a lot of pain on the descent. I'm just so
Just waiting to see if we can get through.
At the checkpoint, the medics are making plans to send out a search party.
Hi, it's Meg from Checkpoint 2. Do you know if there's a sweeper team today? Because 2 of the runners have expressed some concerns about Richard Parks, and they're not sure if he's going to make it here or not.
everything's hurting today. It's a really, really tough day. The jungle is so dense, it's just constantly steep up, steep down, climbing over things. Bloody. Okay. Compose myself and get going again. like Project X, a challenge here is a mental one. Just gotta keep pushing.
Before the sweeper party even departs, Richard makes it to checkpoint 2.
What? He's already here? That's impressive. Tough guy.
How are you doing?
I'm really struggling.
Made of steel.
Are you?
Yeah, my knee is really killing me.
Have a sit down. Give us some water.
How's it, guys?
How are you doing for water?
Oh, I'm totally empty too. Cheers.
Superman.
Oh, good work, guys.
We were worried about you.
Oh, I was crying at one point. The really steep descents, like, it just never ends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh.
It must be like Twinkle Toes if you want to run on here. So that 3 packets of Tutti Fruttis trying to get me energy.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, mate.
Richard and Yorkshireman Mark Roberts decide to stick together for safety and moral support.
Big hell.
Manu has taken out 4 runners today. But after 8 grueling hours, Richard and Mark finally reach the finish line.
Well done, mate. Cheers.
Let's get your packs off.
Richard's fallen back to 11th place, and his feet have taken a pounding.
Really, all right? Ah, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
He's got nasty
Do
blood
it and it makes him more
blisters on
comfortable.
3 of his
It's up to you.
toenails. They need to be lanced,
Yeah.
right through the nail itself.
So try and hold still. Try not to jump.
Okay, I'm doing my best.
Lancing the blister will release the blood and relieve the pressure.
Ready?
No. Oh, fuck! Crying out loud.
Sorry.
That's awesome. Oh.
That come out under a bit of pressure.
Oh, mate.
Is that better?
It feels like a new toe already.
Well done.
Cheers.
Oh, sorry.
You know something's gone wrong when you're grateful for somebody inflicting pain on you. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, it should be all right. And
Appreciate
then
it.
let me know and we'll take
Richard's feet had better hold up, as tomorrow's the final stage of the Jungle Ultra. A massive 92 kilometres. It's 3 times further than any day so far.
It's a great feeling to get to this point. I've had to dig deep, physically and mentally, and all in an environment that I genuinely don't like. Today was horrific. Tomorrow's going to be a tough day. It's a long day, 92 kilometres, but it's just about starting it for me. Once I start it, then hopefully I can just grind it out. Good luck, guys.
Good luck to you.
Good luck.
So all that remains between Richard and glory is the small matter of the long one.
Go!
It's like running from the centre of London to Brighton. But this is the Amazon, and many runners are injured from the previous 130 kilometres.
My chaffing is absolutely killing me.
Within a few minutes, one of the pros, Tish Jones, drops out.
Done brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Okay?
More will follow. Richard has multiple injuries and faces the day from hell.
And the toes that Brett drained last night are banging on the front of my shoes as well.
He's teamed up with his race buddy, Mark. Not only is this stage a vast distance, but they have some 50 river crossings to negotiate.
You alright, mate? Oh. We're
4 hours exactly in to the last day. As nice as the cold water is on my lower legs, the slippy rocks underneath are real hard work, wrecking my knee. Oh shit. I don't even think we're a quarter of the way in to today and I'm starting to feel it already. Ah!
An hour later, Richard's running mate Mark has been forced to drop back due to injury.
It was awesome running with Mark, but the fact that I've got to do it on my own now, you know, is the day that I'm here for, if that makes sense. I'm going to be on my own in Project X, so there's no hiding places. And I'm having to dig deep.
As the temperature hits 40, Antarctica couldn't seem further away. At the checkpoint halfway along the 92k course, the medics are getting worried.
It's now 16:38. The runners have been on the road for over 10 hours now. We've only seen, I think, 6 people through. They've just gone through with still sort of maybe a marathon to run. So they're going to be on the road for, I don't know, another 6 or 7 hours, I should think. It's going to go well into the night, this one.
Richard is one of those who still hasn't reached the checkpoint.
It's just turned 5:30 and I'm about 11 hours in. Now it's getting dark and I'm just going back into the jungle. Right now it's taking every ounce of mental strength to not focus on my knee that's killing me. All I want is just to be back home now.
An hour later, night descends on the jungle. And the path has all but disappeared.
This is taking a turn for the worse now. It's getting pretty serious. Really in the middle of absolutely nowhere. On your own. Navigating with a head torch. It's bloody scary.
Night has fallen over the Peruvian jungle, and the last 6 runners in the Ultra are missing. Richard still has around 50 kilometers to go. At the finish line, 3 more runners have fallen to the jungle, including Mark Roberts.
Me and Richard were doing the river crossings when I twisted my knee, and that was last I saw of him or off. It was like a machine, to be honest with you. So I hope he comes in soon.
In the jungle, a full-on tropical storm has kicked in. The rivers are starting to rise dangerously, and there's concern that the remaining runners could get swept away. So a search party's been sent out to find them.
As if the night wasn't tough enough, the thunder's just let rip too. And there's that Amazon downpour. I would be shattered if I wasn't performing on adrenaline. Oh, my knee really doesn't like going downhill.
News of the storm reaches race director Wes, who's taking emergency action.
No, we've got word that water is coming down off the highlands. The rivers are going to rise. Yep, we can see the storm from here, mate. Yeah, can you go to higher ground, please? Do not let any competitors go through CP5. Repeat, no competitors through CP5. Did you get that?
One hour later, the back runners are found by the search party.
You all right?
We've been standing in this for
I know, we've been worried about you for quite a long time.
It's a good thing.
The rising rivers had washed away the route markers.
Are you all okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, just cold and tired and wet. Okay. We've only got the big van, so we're going to have to probably pop you on the back.
The runners are taken to safety. And now, Richard is the only one out on the course.
I don't know if my mind's playing tricks on me or not. I don't know if they're fireflies or head torches. Hey guys!
Richard's finally made it to checkpoint 5.
It's about 14.5 hours into day 5. It's about 9:15 now and just reached checkpoint 5. A real welcome sight. And Wes, the race director, has pulled the plug on the race for the time being for safety reasons. So I'll be honest, it was getting pretty nerve-wracking out there on my own.
Richard can only hope the storm will abate and he'll get the chance to finish his ultra. The next morning, the Amazon rainforest lives up to its name. Rivers are still rising, and the organisers are forced to end the race. Richard and the remaining runners are evacuated.
Kerry and I got our gear on, put all our wet gear on this morning and sort of psyched ourselves up. We still had 27k to go. I think the decision then was made to abandon the stage. Obviously I'm pretty disappointed. You know, ironically I was feeling, well, I felt like I had a bit of a second wind, but it was the right decision, absolutely, for safety reasons, you know.
Richard never expected to cross the finish line in a logging truck. But he's a happy.
Yeah, that's good.
Before travelling to Peru, he'd never run a marathon before. Now, he's pulled off 5 in 5 days. But more than that, it's a major step towards his Antarctic record attempt in 5 months' time. Before that, he's got one more grueling challenge to go. Richard's heading home to Wales for the brutal. An ultra triathlon with an 8-kilometre swim, 82-kilometre run, and 373 kilometres cycle.
Still shell-shocked by it all, really.